So now we're going to go into some of the checklists and just like tools and tips for you. This stuff is really fun. So this one is called Plan Like a Boss. And these are going to help you in those first few sections where you're creating your marketing plan and then managing. So the first one, to build your marketing plan, I found a really cool resource for you that's called 5 Critical Steps to Developing a Marketing Plan. Anything from documenting your business goals to the SWOT analysis, target personas, marketing goals, and activity plan. It's all right here. So you guys are going to get this after the presentation. And, check that out if that's something you're interested in. The next one is project management. I personally use Asana and I love it. I don't know how I would survive without it. And I learned about Gantt charts really late in my career. And now I just don't understand how I functioned before. But if you need an intuitive online solution and visual way to plan your large projects, and give Asana a whirl. And I don't mean for this to replace anything that you're already doing. I don't know, the specifics of your organization's needs, but I am saying that if you don't have anything in place, I do really recommend this one. It is amazing for a beginner's project management tool. The next one is a brand cheat sheet. So to help you in your brand design journey, there is a handy list of top resources and tools to build a stellar brand identity. So I found this one online. It is great. There are a ton of useful links and things for you to go through and research. I also wanted to share with you email signatures. So, excuse me. There are a lot of the larger corporations will have, an IT department or an email department that is going to do your email signatures for you. But if you don't, and you're in a smaller organization, totally check out YStamp. You can brand your signatures. They're not just cut and pasted. You can hyperlink them to all of your social media. You can push them out to your entire team. So you can manage them through one hub and say, we have at Row Fenestration, we have about 12 or 13 people on our team. And I can go into my dashboard and, update the signature and push it out to everybody. They don't have to do anything. They just refresh and there it is. So that's good if you're doing, monthly highlights, or you're going to do campaigns or anything of that nature where you want to change up what's in that signature. It's a great, easy way to do that for a team, or even just for, a 1 or 2 person shop. And professional printing. If you don't have a printer, or if you're using like a Kinko's or no bashing on Kinko's, love Kinko's and Vistaprint. They have a time and a place. But if you're looking for something a little more polished, I really recommend Moo. They are a little bit more expensive, but if you're looking for something that has a little more wow factor, they're great. They're reasonably priced, but they're not going to be as cheap as your Kinko's. So your PR arsenal. So there are basically 4 pieces of, creating your PR strategy or your PR outreach, right? So you need to develop your story. You find a story angle. Media is not going to be interested in selling your product or service. They're just not. They want the story behind what you're doing. And it must be newsworthy because brands are competing for limited space and broadcast time with other pitches. So I don't know if you're pitching, trade magazines, or you're pitching a news channel for something that's, finite. But you have to have a story, a story hook to it. Otherwise, it's just a commercial, which then you pay for. So the next piece is to create a media list. And that is a list of contacts that you have researched. You know what beat they're on. You know that they are going to actually care about what they're receiving from you. They might not cover it, but at least it fits within, their framework of what they actually cover. One of the best ways to look like a novice is to pitch things that aren't relevant to the journalist. And yes, it it takes more time. But you're going to have your best ROI if you do the research first. And I do want to talk a little bit about press releases. Those, they still have value. I will still send press releases out over the wire. They're expensive, but you can still send them out over the wire. They help with SEO. Again, we talked a little bit about that. But if you want a really meaty story, that's not where you're going to get it. You're going to get it from this personalized pitching, doing the research, finding out those journalists who cover the beat that you're trying to pitch. And that's where your ROI is going to come in. The next piece is to write the pitch. You're going to write a pitch that's going to stand out. You need to have something that's different. Editors and writers see hundreds of emails a day. Know who you're pitching and try and cater your pitch to that specific writer. And then when pitching pitching the press release, be concise, be honest, and put real facts in it. I will tell you a story. I had somebody, actually somewhat recently, is I had a press release that had to go out, and my client put in a lot of flowery language, and I knew better. I knew it shouldn't have been in there, but they definitely wanted it to be in there, and I did not push back. And so I sent it out, and I got probably the nastiest email that I've ever gotten from a journalist in my life. And they just shredded me. And so you really, when you're dealing with, journalists with journalistic integrity, you want to give them facts and not fluff it up. Yes, you want a story. Yes, you want to have emotion in it. Yes, you want to have, all those pieces that make it connect with the audience, but it needs to be real and it needs to not be fluffy. And then follow up with your media contacts. I cannot tell you how many times that I send out tons of pitches and it's crickets, and you're like, oh man, they just don't like it. They have a lot of stuff going on, just like we all do. So you can politely follow up. There's nothing wrong with that. I have been seeing, in the last few years that email is much preferred over phone. But again, it's up to you what you're most comfortable with. I always go through also, if I'm pitching somebody, I will follow them on their, mostly Twitter for journalists. But, look for them on social media, look and see what they're writing about, look to see what they care about. That's how you make those personal connections. And, find out what they really want to write about. And social media savvy. So this one is so fun. Graphic design. And I put this under social media because graphic design is such a skill, right? And if you are using a graphic designer at your business, I in no way am telling you to use Canva over a graphic designer, because there's nothing that you can do in Canva that will replace, a human with that kind of skill. But I'm putting it here because you don't always have access to a graphic designer for something that you need just for a social media post, right? So Canva is super easy. It is drag and drop. It's for something that it's not, you don't really want to create your logo on it. You need to pay somebody to do that. If you're going to do a magazine ad and pay, for a beautiful full page ad, you want to use a designer. But if you want to do, say you're having a virtual happy hour, or you're having, you want to post something for, your second anniversary or whatever it is, then absolutely try out Canva. They have a lot of stock photos already that come with the site. I think I pay for the pro, and I think it's probably like $20 a month, maybe. It's not very much. But then I don't have to pay for any of the extra stock footage or stock videos. Sorry, I'm thinking about the next one. Stock photos. So try that out. That could be an entire presentation all on its own. It is so fun. The next one is an easy video creator. So I use this for all of my videos right now. And I'm not a trained designer, nor am I a trained video editor. But I've worked with large scale teams enough to know what needs to be there. And I don't have the budget for it. I know that I don't have the budget for it. So I need to figure out how I can emulate that to the best of my ability on the budget that I have. And that is where WeVideo comes in. And you can use your own footage on WeVideo. You can upload your own footage, or you can use footage that is stock that comes with the platform. So either of those ways, you could do a combination of both. And it produces a very nice video that you can use for social media, for your website, for your email. It's very inexpensive. I did want to point out that once you create a video and you export it from WeVideo, you're probably going to want to put it on your Facebook page or wherever. You always also want to put it on YouTube, because YouTube is owned by Google. They do a lot of indexing, I guess you could say, on the description of these videos. So even if you don't push a lot of people to that video, you still want to host it there also and fill the description. There's a lot of room in there. You can have a lot of characters. Fill that description with, the key things that your company provides. Maybe links back to your website or whatever. I have my YouTube set up for each of my clients that every time I upload a video, there's some templated information that's on the bottom, and then on the top I get to write, a 2 or 3 sentence summary of my video, and then all the rest of the information is down at the bottom. Because when you look at YouTube, when you're watching a video, only the first couple lines are going to show anyway. Unless they're interested and they want to see more. And that's when they click see more, and all that other information about your company comes up. So that is a great thing to keep in mind, is to always host your videos also on YouTube. The next one is a content calendar. So a content calendar, if you think about it, is imagine an editorial calendar for a magazine. They're going to plan out their content for a year, right? So the next 12 months. And it doesn't have to be every single post you're going to do for the next 12 months. It needs to look over the next 12 months of your time frame for your business and identify what those key time frames are. Maybe there's a big award ceremony, or there's a 3-month span that you celebrate something, or whatever is impactful to your business. Kind of lay those things out on that, and then build around those. So, you can theme each of your months if you want. You could, and then have your content kind of feed up into those themes. There is a great blog that I included here for you, because I know this one is a little bit nebulous for me to just explain it to you. But if you look at this blog, it gives some great resources on how to actually create a content calendar. And then the next thing is a scheduler. So do not spend your time posting to every single social media platform that you have individually. It's such a time suck, and it is frustrating, and it's not going to be as clean as it would be if you use a schedule. And I had a little bit of hesitation for a while about using a schedule, because the last scheduler I used was Hootsuite, and it was, 6 or 7 years ago. And it wasn't intuitive at that time. But man, have they updated it. It is so much better now. You can tailor your posts for each of the different platforms. You can tag within the Hootsuite platform. You can schedule, you can duplicate. There's so much that you can do with this that you don't have to actually be posting in real time. Of course, there's always going to be situations where you want to post in real time. Great, do that. But as a general rule, you can schedule things out that fit within your content calendar and your editorial calendar. So let's see, and schedule those bad boys and get some of your sanity back.